order for your honor, left on box them chains. What was my dog, man? Why that bullet had got lodged in his brain? My mind is insane. A memory card is locked in the game. These optical frames spot ops and leave a block full of pain. Did the impossible, cross the tightrope while dodging the rain. I put in stitches in my Glock, no I am not finna aim. Swear I got robbed and joined the army so my spot could remain. One lost his life in North Carolina, hope he not as I say. Drinking sorrow away on my apple still for the soldiers we lost on the battlefield. Why am I hurting myself as I bury on belching out death when I'd rather heal? And most of these rappers ain't that for me. They mentioning that shit, they got for me. Talking fly when we push that in vacuum seal. Some of my homies not pushing up that deal. Now Ninja put music to dream hours. We been up grinding up teen hours. They ain't believing that team power, then we had a run of 14,000. I thank you all for supporting us. This right here for the voice of the warrior. Victory is a beautiful moment. We went through the rain while in love with Victoria.
The Revolutionary War again, I'm not saying but it's his God. You know what I'm talking about, Matt? Like, this is our birthright. It's something. But he had a good video about homosexuality. And you know what the profile in the 60s was? What they would go after is they literally
hard to hop off of the plane. Boys to get back in the trenches. My sister, my brother was slain, and I haven't seen any mentions from social media and networks. So irritated that my head hurts. And when I do, it's only excerpts, small commentary from the experts. No appreciation for the lives lost. I post it up with the iron cross when the smoke clears from fine off. All I think about is my fault, man. Should've been there to protect you. The bullets that came and they wrecked you. Now it's my duty to go and collect you. Wrapping the casket, sending you home. Not full of madness, knowing you gone. How could this happen? Tell me I'm wrong. Dip in the sadness, leave me alone. Doctor got me medicated, wanna get me regulated. Helping me recover with the pain. Even though we celebrated everything you dedicated, now I gotta make it through the rain.
And it's, there's no real, like, you know, and again, there's some serious trouble. It's like, Buddy G, she got molested when she was a kid with her dad. Okay, totally makes sense. Doesn't mean that every dad is your dad, but that's programmed in her brain. And you know, like, and you know, girls that are like lesbians, they're just like doing it for attention. You know what I'm talking about? Yep. And it's like they're always lesbians until they have to start having kids, and then magically they go straight all of a sudden. When the clock starts running out, they're like, oh yeah, I'm straight.
Army specialist Aaron Davis Robinson is accused of killing Ian, and his girlfriend Cicely Aguilar is accused of helping him get rid of the body. And tonight, we have Aguilar's confession about exactly what happened the night
the moment they got to 29, all of them
today marks 2 years since an Air Force veteran was shot and killed by a DeKalb County police officer. 27-year-old Anthony Hill, whose family says he suffered from PTSD, was naked and unarmed when he was shot by Officer Robert Olson during an encounter.
Olson was indicted by a grand jury and faces felony murder along with other charges. And now we've learned the DA has appointed a new prosecution team in that case.
Wow. Space force through your tape. We fast forward, we came through that time warp. Your foreheads look like warp. Everybody look confused, huh? How do we make these moves, huh? How do we always improve, huh? No, we ain't nothing like you. We on top cause we don't stop and all we do is gradual. Everyone's so grouchy cause they puppets and we animals. We don't whine, we just break bread with the team. Holy mackerel. Know us, and we reign and better grab a boat. We a different breed, talking alien. Survivor of the fittest and we play to win. Grab another bounty and get paid again. Then we fade into the dark like a gradient. Dark like a gradient. Dark like a gradient. Space force through your tape. We fast forward, we came through that time warp. Your foreheads look like warp. Everybody look confused, huh? How do we make these moves, huh? How do we always improve, huh? No, we ain't nothing like you. We on top cause we don't stop and all we do is gradual. Everyone's so grouchy cause they puppets and we animals. We don't whine, we just break bread with the team, holy mackerel. Know us, and we raining, better grab a boat.
Poke the bear, you better go in there. My fireworks in the sky like a Roman air. An imposer in the throne, and it stole my chair. Any moment here could become a polar bear. It's cold in here, in a flash like a solar flare. The Vulcan here, my whole career, they cloak the beer. They will get over me and then it won't appear. In iguana like a fauna, now I go to be deer.
Space, force through your tape. We fast forward, we came through that time warp. Your foreheads look like warp. Everybody look confused, huh? How do we make these moves, huh? How do we always improve, huh? No, we ain't nothing like you. We on top cause we don't stop and all we do is gradual. Everyone's so grouchy cause they puppets and we animals. We don't whine, we just break bread with the team, holy mackerel. Know us, and we raining, better grab a boat. Space, force through your tape. We
Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. We are the two kings of the Rube Empire. I am the Philosopher King, the Ivory Tower, the Mad Scientist Matt, and I've got a perspective on things.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the greatest day of your life. The provocateur in chief, the strong one, the people's champ, the people's choice, the man with a mission, the man with a plan, the man that will make you so angry but say, you know what? That guy was a little bit right at the end.
Yeah.
The ebony rampart, the one that breaks the hearts, the one that steals the hearts is in the house. And unfortunately...
Also known as the Iron King.
Yeah, missed that one.
Listen, everybody already... That's a given. Everybody knows I'm the Iron King. And I have a perspective on things, and unfortunately... I got to give it up for Dusty.
That's right. You got to give it up to me. The kick-ass Duke. The one, the only, the producer. The Dusty. Come on, Ray. Come on.
Dusty.
Come on. There it is.
You'll get one.
There it is.
You get one. That's it.
Oh, wait. I'm going to work you up, and I'm going to get a second. I'm going to get a second tonight. And it's going to be...
Man, listen, you're going to piss me off somehow. There's always something that's going to make me mad. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Well, you're going to make me mad like these go ahead.
Speaking of getting pissed off, let's watch a little video.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You guys ready?
I'll tell you what, I will never complain about a destination wedding again. Russia has been hit with a series of crippling sanctions, and it looks like there's more to come because the U.S. and its European allies are now discussing banning imports of Russian oil. Take that, Putin. We're not going to buy our gas from a war criminal. We're going to buy it from the good guys, Saudi Arabia. But it's going to cost. Since the invasion, oil prices have skyrocketed. Today, the average gas price in America hit an all-time record high of over $4 per gallon. Okay, that stings, but a clean conscience is worth a buck or two. I'm willing to pay. It's important. It's important. I'm willing to pay $4 a gallon. Hell, I'll pay $15 a gallon because I drive a Tesla. Right now, people all over the world are trying to find inventions.
I drive a Tesla, so it doesn't affect me. And I'm super rich, so I can afford a Tesla. I make $15 million a year. I'm nothing like you plebs. But you'll still clap for me. Because you're sheeple.
I want to say for the viewing audience, those were not middle fingers. That was my index finger, or my ring finger. So the meaning still applies, but I didn't do it. So I just want to throw that out there. You know,
So if anybody knows American Sign Language, you know exactly what I just said.
How literally, I don't know what's worse, that one or Pete Buttigieg's take on this one, right? Did you guys see Pete Buttigieg where it's like, oh, you need to go out and get a Tesla? You know what I mean?
Goes hand in hand.
So
I mean,
is
it's like, let them eat cake 2022.
Is that
you know
like
what I'm saying?
the lady that said, well, there's so many homeless, why don't they just buy a house?
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, yeah, just go out and buy it. You know, because everybody can afford it. Why not?
And of course, it's a New York audience, so first of all, they're dumb seals going, like the idiots that would go to Stephen Colbert anyways,
Paying
are literally going to
$6 a gallon.
Hey,
yeah.
Is it the applause sign yet? Applause sign? Like,
where's my fish? I was promised fish.
oh my gosh, bro. What's rich about this situation is, didn't all these slapdicks demonize Elon Musk like 2 weeks ago? Didn't they demonize him for like making money?
Of course.
How dare he?
No,
But
now they
Amazon's
want you
okay.
to-
Amazon's okay.
Well, and he
I like
tweeted
Amazon.
things. He tweeted things in support of, dare I say it, right-wing ideas.
That's a tantamount to bestiality. But anyways, I think, where did she come from, man?
Well, we start talking about stuff, and she gets mad, and out she comes.
I haven't seen her in
it's been
so
a while.
long. Dusty, did you
She
draw
chugs.
on her?
Her connection to our plane of existence is not as good lately, so. But we're working on it.
No, but I mean, like, didn't they demonize Elon Musk for like daring to have like a brain in his mind and create billions in dollars and employ people and so on and so forth, and now they want you to buy his car?
Yeah, they demonized him for trying to build a car against the big three. They demonized him for going full electric and going, oh, that'll never happen. And oh, it did. They demonized him when he moved his factory from California to Texas because, well, duh.
Yeah.
Texas bad.
Yeah, they demonized him because he started to create a satellite called Starlink that would allow the entire globe to have access to high-speed internet cheaply. I mean, and yet he's hitting home runs every single time. He's doing something right.
Well, except that he named the internet network of satellites, or the network of satellites for the internet Starlink, and it should be Skynet. Everybody knows this. It should just be
half
Skynet.
dozen in the other. Come on.
Listen, boys. Satan uses gluttony and anorexia, so he'll use either side of the bad side. You know, so it is what it is. So,
AI is coming.
Huh?
AI is coming.
All I just think of is Sarah Connor running up to the playground against the chain link fence and her melting in the blast of atomic bombs.
Yeah.
When I think of Skynet, so it is what it is.
I saw your meme today of the crazy girl in the crowd.
Oh.
3 years, during Trump, and Trump's gonna start World War III. And then today, We need to start World War III. It's the only way. We got to save the Ukrainians. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about energy, which we already have started. And obviously the elite class are out of touch completely, and they pontificate and tell us how we should behave while they are immune from all the effects of that behavior. But on top of that, our government for quite some time was funneling money and arms into Ukraine to defend against the Russians while buying oil from the Russians.
Yes.
Europe's doing the same thing.
What?
I mean, Europe can't do anything without Russian oil. They need
they supply a majority of the oil for Europe.
Yeah.
Are you saying
that's hit me.
Are you saying the Western world plays both sides of most conflicts that exist?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I've heard this story before. Where did I hear this before? When Napoleon was at Waterloo and a spy got out of ahead and told the entire English hierarchy that England had lost and Napoleon won, and they sold all their stock because they thought England was over. And then the next day they found out Napoleon lost. And who was the family that bought up all the stock? Who I can't remember.
Man. It was Rotter.
Starts with Rothschild.
No.
Rothschild.
Look at the briefcase. Oh, it was Samsonite. I was way off.
Yeah, it just sounds very Rothschild-like. The West does what the West does. You feel me? You feel me, dog?
Yeah, I feel you.
I work with banks.
It's
I know
frustrating.
too much. I could tell you a story right now that's just really bad. It would incriminate me, so I'm not going to do that. But it's funny. Like
it is ridiculous. But what's even more ridiculous is now we've cut off oil, right? We're not buying oil.
Well,
we're not buying oil from this bad man. We're just going to go to the other bad man and get our oil from.
Well, so there's so many layers to this. We're going to stop buying oil from Russia. We went to Iran. We're going to Iran to try and get them to produce more oil that
Russia's
we can buy.
Second friend, because China's number one, Iran's number two.
But we also went to Saudi Arabia to try and get them to produce more oil and sell it to us, and they were like, "No, we're not even going to meet with you. Bye." So that was fun. Well, go ahead and interrupt, Ray. I know you had your hand up earlier.
Just a brief history. I feel like Columbo right now, but just one last question. Weren't they the ones that kidnapped our people?
Yeah,
that
did happen. Yeah, the Iran-Contra scandal, I believe.
During Jimmy Carter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Other quick question. Sorry. My bad. Aren't they the ones that throw gay people off buildings?
Yeah.
Definitely. Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's actually a pretty timid sentence if you get that.
Yeah. And then last question I have. Aren't they the ones that chant death to America every time they're on national TV?
Definitely.
Yeah.
They also fund terrorism around the world, around the Middle East and elsewhere.
I forgot about that.
They were big supporters of ISIS, I believe.
Don't they support Hezbollah and all that fun stuff like that too?
Yeah. The Taliban.
Yep.
Oh, ISIS and the Taliban, Hezbollah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That sounds like a great idea, man.
It's a brilliant idea, especially when you realize that we have all the natural gas and oil we need, and then some, right here inside the confines of the United States of America. And then it's even worse when you think back to, so long ago that I can barely remember it. But all the way back to the previous president in 2020
Oh,
or
we don't say his
2019,
name.
really. Yeah,
Wise King.
he
Wise
who
King.
shall
We
not be
don't say his
named.
name. Yeah.
Yeah. And we were energy independent and a net exporter of oil. In fact, we could have supplied Europe instead of Russia, and this wouldn't have been an issue.
Well, at least not as big of an issue.
Yeah.
I think they still would be pretty dependent on Russia, but they wouldn't be as dependent.
Well, we could probably. I mean, well, but consider this: there's a whole year of research and exploration that wasn't done.
Yep.
That we could have been producing even more and exporting even more. So maybe we could have met the demand.
So Biden, day one, goes in and shuts off all oil on federal soil.
Yep.
It says
And
no more production.
pulls a permit from the Keystone Pipeline, cutting that off.
And then a year and some plus months later goes, oh, but there's 9,000 bids that aren't being filled. Why do you think that is?
Well,
They're not.
9,000 down from 37,000. That's
Yeah.
important.
Yes.
So 28,000 gone because of the Biden administration.
And by the way, all of those are exploratory. They're
Yeah.
not actually, you can go in and pump that. That's just, oh, you found some? Great.
Oh,
It's
and
just
by the way, they
exploratory.
still need approval, even if they do find something there. They
Correct.
still need
Exactly.
approval,
Exactly.
Yeah.
which they don't want to talk about. But I digress.
So why do you think oil companies would be a little timid to
Invest in exploratory research.
any kind of research or anything that has to do with anything in the United States with this kind of president who's more than willing to go, screw you guys, go home.
And hey, this is because he loves the planet and wants to save the planet from climate change. It's not because there was going to be a war that Alex Jones was talking about happening in February, months before.
October, yeah.
Yeah. It's not because of that, or because they were trying to game the system, or anything like that. Any kind of that's all conspiracy junk, right? It's not about the managed decline of America. No, this is about the planet, my friends. Climate change is going to destroy us all. Energy crisis, the energy crisis and famine and war is probably going to kill you before climate change could ever affect your lives.
Yeah.
But we need to do something now for our children's 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 children.
Wait a minute, but isn't all the debt we're accumulating right now going to debilitate our children's children's children?
No.
Don't.
You can't say those things. Why do you hate the planet?
And listen.
Listen. I have a crazy theory. Is it weird that I find it incredibly arrogant to think that humanity could ever destroy the planet? Is that arrogant? I mean, I don't know. I'm a weird guy. I just, I don't know, man. I've been reading the Book of Job like a weirdo lately. I don't know why I do that, but it talks about like God being completely in control of everything in this world. Like who is man to God? I mean, I don't know.
Listen,
Whoa.
Roman Knightley.
You have to
says it
actually
well.
believe in God.
We can't say that kind of stuff because think of the narrative.
The narrative.
The narrative.
Think of the narrative.
The narrative.
So
that should be our Pee Wee Herman. That should be our Pee Wee Herman buzzword. Narrative.
So Putin had something to say today about the gas prices.
Okay.
What do you say?
Putin said the president of the United States should not be putting blame on Russia. Russia's sells less than 3% of the United States total oil per day. So Russia going to war and them pulling the Russian oil should not affect the prices that much. They need to look more internally at their corrupt president.
Wait.
got a point.
That can't be true.
I
Because,
don't know about 3% though.
I mean, but listen,
I've heard more
Fox
than that.
News
I've
said,
heard as high as 11, but as low as 2. So it
Okay.
ranges quite a bit.
Well, that's
depending
great.
on who
Isn't
you're
it great
talking to.
when you can get such accurate information?
Right? It's so convenient.
listen, guys, Fox News said that if we stop getting from Russia, it will stop them. If we stop getting oil from them, it will make it go away. That's what Fox told me today. That's what they told me.
But don't you remember that Russia and China, we said it on this show, that's kind of an overlooked article. That day one of the Olympics, they met and they announced that they were unlimited allies
Yep.
in the goal of expanding their borders into Ukraine and into Taiwan. So China is bankrolling this.
Oh, yeah. Because
Well, I
China
mean,
gets a
in
ton
Europe-
of oil from Russia.
I mean, Europe is kind of too. I mean, they're kind of
Oh, for sure.
bankrolling this too.
Yeah,
That's why
Europe's
they're
not
really
cutting
getting
that.
involved.
They can't cut that off.
But hey, listen, they're talking tough. They're sternly talking to
Yes.
those Russians.
So-
Sternly worded letter.
So
Sternly tweets.
if they're so worried about the oil, why isn't Europe developing electric cars, green
Well,
energy?
Spain did.
I mean, come on,
I mean,
Porsche.
well, to be honest, Europe was built in, the medieval times.
Yeah.
Most people don't drive cars in Europe. I mean, there's
true.
cars,
Yeah.
but
It's not nearly.
it's
as-
not like America because you
No.
can walk everywhere.
Yeah.
Because it was built in the time when all you had were horses or walking.
That's
know?
true.
That's when they
Not-
freak out
they're
when they come
so
to Orlando
old.
and realize Miami's not close.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
Exactly.
like, oh, Miami's really far away. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Well,
4 hours
America.
by car. Well, 3.5.
Oh,
So I had a friend
question.
of mine from. Go ahead, Ray.
No, you have a friend. Go.
Yes, I had a friend of mine from South Africa, and he came to the United States, and he's like, "Yes, I want to go to Disney, and then I want to go to New York, and then I want to go to Chicago. Can we do that in like 3 days?" I was like, "No." it's
I mean,
like
you
a
could.
24-hour drive just to New York.
Yeah, if you could if you wanted to take the red eye, and
Yeah.
and
Never sleep.
never sleep.
He thought they were just a few hours apart.
Yeah, like because literally, by train, everything is a few hours apart in Europe.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too. Have you ever seen the maps that they show in the world of North and South America?
Mm.
They're like tiny. They're like microscopic. So
That is true.
Yeah.
they're like, oh,
yeah,
I mean,
the scale is all wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the scale for the globe, the world globes is always off by drastic amounts.
I
And
wonder,
it-
I wonder why that is. But anyway, all I'm trying to say is,
because it's supposed to be flat.
I have no clue. I don't know what the world looks like. But all I'm trying to say is, I have a question. So I know of a country called Spain, and they got rid of all of gas and imports and so on and so forth. It wrecked their economy completely, and now they have 20% unemployment. Yeah, they completely destroyed everything. And then there's another country called Germany who tried to switch everything over, and now they get everything from Russia because they didn't drill on their own land now, and that didn't work out so well for them either. And you know what's weird is like England is
and
really,
Germany and Spain were like big time producers of carbon,
Yes.
right? I mean,
Well,
not
no.
anything like India or China or anything like that.
no, they didn't really produce most of our emissions, that quote unquote emissions, and I say that loosely, of carbon that goes in the air and makes things better for plants to grow. But that's another story for another time because plants
Wait,
don't
ooh,
take that carbon and turn it into more
Don't-
oxygen. But we won't talk
Yeah,
about that
that's what I
right
was
now.
gonna say.
Huh? So
I was gonna ask, don't plants turn carbon dioxide into oxygen?
Listen. Greenhouse gas is bad because it'll make more abundant, robust plants that will in turn make more oxygen for us. We don't want that at all.
And increase crop yields so that people don't go hungry, and that's bad too.
I mean, listen, it is horrible that you can grow wine in England now. Okay, in the 1500s, you couldn't even do that, but it's bad now that you can do that. And don't even get me started on those rising sea levels. I mean, listen, I was hanging out with the Obamas at their beachside resort the other day, and
which one?
I saw it come up. A little bit. It was crazy.
Which beachside mansion was it? Was it the one in Martha's Vineyard or the one they're building in Hawaii?
The one I went to is Martha's Vineyard. I got to make it out to Hawaii eventually. You know what I mean? But yeah, listen,
I mean, it's not done yet, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the world's about to end, and the sea levels are about to rise. But for some reason, they bought beach houses,
mansions. So they didn't spend like $100,000 on a beach house. They bought mansions, millions of dollars. Now, granted, they're worth a ton of money because they're corrupt as all get out. But
listen.
Yeah, well, it's not their money.
I think their pocketbooks are going to get hit a little bit. You know, those biolabs in Ukraine that they finally admitted to are getting hit.
But those don't exist. Those don't exist.
Wait. Are you talking about? Oh, I didn't add the one where they're saying that they. Is it this one?
About that clip is they admitted readily when they're in front of a
biological research facilities, which in fact Ukraine has biological research facilities, which in fact we are now quite concerned Russian forces may be seeking to gain control of. So we are working with the Ukrainians on how they can prevent any of those research materials from falling into the hands of Russian forces should they.
Okay. But I recall, so the woman was saying that Ukraine has these biological research facilities. I'm using my words carefully here.
That's exactly what she said.
Yeah, that they don't want to fall into. They're working with them to keep them from falling into the hands of the Russians.
But
well, it's too late. Most of them have toppled. But yes.
Yeah, but I thought, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember them saying that there were none.
Yeah, I remember getting hit with a ban, saying that was misinformation.
Well, it's kind of like how you remember when the movie Plandemic came out and it got banned, and you got banned if you posted it or anything like that. You remember that?
Yeah.
And then everything that she said ended up becoming true. Okay, same scenario, just replace Rona with anthrax sites that are biolabs funded by Americans, because we can't have them here because that violates every ethical practice that we hold in America, but we'll put them in a former Ruski country and pray nobody finds out. Did I hit that on the nail?
No one's going to find that.
Now, here's what's interesting.
Oh, and we're gonna do it right on the border of Russia.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're gonna know about it because, intelligence operations.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna be happy about it. But don't worry, we'll just tell everybody that they're the bad guys and that they're, aggressing on Ukraine, when really we and NATO have been aggressing on them for quite some time. Not saying that Putin is an angel.
No.
Just to clarify, he is still a bad guy. I'm not pro-Putin, but I'm not pro our own government either. And I'm not I'm not pro NATO anymore either. Screw NATO.
I'm not NATO or UN can kick rocks. But anyways, go ahead. Here's my thing. we're having a trouble with words right now because remember back in January 6th, they called that an insurrection. Remember?
Yes. Yeah.
Even though people were let into the building and they toppled a few things and broke some glass. Only one
they
person
sat at
died,
Nancy Pelosi's desk.
Yeah,
True.
yeah. Don't
And
forget
one guy moved a podium.
Yeah.
took a podium.
And
Tried
listen,
to anyways.
people thought that was an actual insurrection until last year in August when an actual insurrection happened and the Taliban took back over,
Or even
Afghanistan.
some people even believed it up until this week when Project Veritas released that one CNN reporter who was like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. I mean, you guys are all freaking out.
Yeah.
In reference to his own colleagues, though he also was on air talking about how evil it was.
Yeah.
And how
Well, see, the media
dangerous.
has trouble with words. They call those things insurrections. They're calling this an invasion. And call me crazy. I know I'm a traitorous
You're
American
crazy.
dog. I'm crazy. This is smelling more like a mission more than an invasion. And what's interesting to me is everybody's like, oh, Putin's failing. And, he should have took over the country by now, blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting there like, probably because he didn't want to actually take over Ukraine.
That's
Call
possible.
me crazy. But
Maybe
it
he
looks
just
like
wanted
he
to.
kind of wanted, huh?
Maybe he just wanted to strike specific targets that he felt were aggressions on
right.
Russian sovereignty.
Now I know that
Perhaps.
he said that.
Perhaps.
Yeah, except for
again,
I don't think the apartment complexes count as U.S. aggression against Russia. Like I said, I'm not pro Putin. I think he's a horrible person.
Yes.
He also
Agreed.
is hiring outside mercenaries to fight because his Russian soldiers don't want to fight against Ukrainians because they see them as themselves, as part of themselves. So he's hiring mercenaries outside to come in and do the dirty work.
Possible. I'm not refuting that at all. And I think, thank God they have the ghost of Kiev to keep those guys out. You know what I mean? Because it's, no, I'm kidding. I'm being about it. But honestly, like, honest to God, like.
Well, the thing. Okay. Well, let's talk about that.
Sure.
Because.
Time out. Did Dusty just flash a Chick-fil-A cup in my face right now? Just like that?
Yeah.
Oh, I did it. This is the second time now.
Thanks, Dusty. All right, go ahead. Keep going. Sorry.
Well, so he presented all this information. The rebel or the outside mercenaries, the apartment complexes. Except that, how do we know that any of that is true? And I'm not putting that on you. How do we know that anything that we're talking about is true?
Listen, I was told a really hot Ukrainian chick with an airsoft rifle was going out and killing Ruskies.
Oh, yeah.
I was told that.
Yes.
Okay.
Or at least that's what I saw on TikTok.
I was told that an old lady was like wrapped up from a chemical weapon explosion or something at an apartment complex, and then that ended up not being true either. So I don't know. I don't know. I was told that 13 brave soldiers at some island said piss off to the Russians, which they did say that. And they were supposed to be like dead and wiped out eventually, and then they weren't.
No, they just
so
surrendered.
Again, all I'm trying to say is I was told that COVID was the most deadly thing that has ever happened. And now Pfizer is delisting itself from the NASDAQ. I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Yeah. I was told COVID was horrible, and I haven't heard from Fauci. And anybody know where Fauci went?
I posted his milk jug, missing.
Okay, yeah, I saw that. I was told that Black Lives Matter was the most important movement of all time. I even heard it in my work meeting today, and I almost lost it. But what happened to those guys? Aren't they being investigated for buying a house in Canada?
Well, the moment that 12 states start investigating Black Lives Matter for fraud,
It's just because they're racist.
and all of a sudden the
Racist
organization
dog.
dissolved.
Hey, I was told that Orange Man was colluding with Russia. That didn't ever happen. Okay, and then I was told that he made a weird conversation with the Ukrainians, supporting the Ukrainians, and wasn't he impeached for that, for talking to the Ukrainians?
Yeah.
Something
But
like
now
that,
we're
yeah.
cool with the Ukrainians because it serves the Western
Well, I mean,
purposes right
It
now.
fits the narrative.
Huh?
I mean, I'm yellow and blue for life, brah. Yellow and blue for life.
I mean, I was told there was some yellow cake and weapons of mass destruction at Saddam's palace. Okay, and it just didn't end up happening. Call me crazy.
Okay.
They did have chocolate frosting, so the yellow cake has got to be somewhere.
Listen, dude.
Gotcha.
Listen. Guys. You guys think you're
What?
so funny. Well, we literally changed the world. When we changed our profile pictures to a black square, and now we're doing it with the yellow and blue of the Ukrainian flag, and it's happening again. We're going to change the freaking world.
Listen, I've just been told a lot of things. I've been told a lot of things, bro. I've been told that, I was told the Tuskegee experiments never happened. I was told that we burned holes in the ozone and we fixed it by, not having aerosol cans. I've heard a lot of crazy stuff in
And
my
keeping
lifetime.
your refrigerator closed.
And I've just, huh?
Make sure you keep your refrigerator closed.
Yeah,
so
keep
the
your,
aerosols
listen,
don't
I have heard
don't
a
escape.
lot of crazy stuff. Just so forgive me if I'm a little bit like skeptical. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, dog? Anyway.
Well, I
sorry.
won't forgive you because we're not supposed to be skeptical of the government. Why would they lie? Why would they lie?
Because they're liars. They are professional liars. They're called politicians.
Well, yeah, politicians are all liars, but the government doesn't lie.
Yes, it does.
Why would they lie?
Listen, dog,
No. Politicians are liars, yeah. They'll say anything to keep their positions of power, but why would the government lie?
Yeah, but don't they hire the people in the government?
What? No, what?
The bureaucrats?
No. Yeah. Why would they lie, though?
Hey, bro.
Do you see the disconnect? Like, everybody and their mother. I mean, it is culturally... It's like, it is known, Khaleesi. Politicians are liars. It is known. Okay?
But the government...
But why would the government lie to us? That's also... That comes out of the same mouth.
Because, listen, Matt. Listen.
Listen.
We stupid, dog.
Yeah, we stupid.
We stupid. Like, we're stupid. Because, like, listen, here's the deal. Okay. Like, at this point, as grown men, y'all are 40-year-old men, okay? Don't trust anything I've been told by any federal government, any state government, anything. I have a little bit of skepticism. You know what I mean? You feel me? You feel me, dog? Because I'm told the gas prices exploded because of the Ruskies 2 weeks ago. But last time I checked, the gas was going up a long time. They've been going on since, how does the chart say? Since the beginning, since Biden started. You know? I was told Orange Man Bad, back to your meme, I was told Orange Man Bad was going to start World War III, but then he did all these peace accords with Israel and North Korea.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy.
No.
And
he kept
Biden's in
things
there,
going.
The gas goes up, and everybody wants to go to war. Well, not everybody. The globalists want to go to war really bad.
Yeah.
So crazy, man. Dusty, you're being told to. I'm not 39, Dusty. Don't you age me. How old?
Why not?
We'll put it in the chat. How old do you think the strong one is?
39.
I'm getting closer to that, but yeah. I don't know, boys. I'm just here's the disconnect. It's like
My battery's dying. Give me a second. You keep going.
You're good. No, here's another one that was funny, Dusty. I don't know. This is a little bit off topic, but so the left all week told me that Elon Musk was bad, but now they want us to buy cars. The left is trying to tell me that Russia is the reason that our oil is going up, even though we only buy 3% of our oil, 3 to, 11% from Russia, even though we have tons of oil here.
If that's true, and we stop buying their oil, our gas prices should go up 3 to 11%, right?
Yeah. It's going up way more than that.
It's going up way more than that.
So, right. So then we got, let's see, I was told that Russia is the evil bad guy. And then I'm seeing like, okay, well, they haven't taken over the cities yet. They keep going over, they keep going to weird places like Chernobyl and like biolabs and stuff. They're not really like, and then under congressional hearings, we had to admit that we had biolabs in Ukraine developing anthrax, which would be illegal to do here in America because it's absolutely stupid and unethical, but we do it in other people's countries.
And dangerous. Don't forget about dangerous.
Yeah.
It is extraordinarily dangerous.
The same lady, the next day when she's not in a congressional hearing, because you can actually, you can be found doing perjury. You can perjure yourself if you go in front of the Congress, admit something, and then change your thought process on it. Okay, whatever. You can perjure, correct? They can still arrest you on those, right? Huh?
Yeah, they can perjure you.
Yeah, they can perjure you, right? But then Jen Psaki comes out the next day and says, well, no. That was Russian propaganda that we have biolabs out in America. But wait a minute. You just had to admit in front of Congress that there are biolabs that we're funding currently right now.
Yeah, I am.
Think about it.
The headphones didn't work.
Yeah. So I'm just saying it's really rich. Here's another fun one, Dusty. Can you hear me, Dusty? Or is it dead?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Here's another fun one, Dusty. The WNBA. I know. Nobody watches the WNBA. Let's get real. None of us do. Okay. I love my daughters. I love my girls. Matt's got girls too. If they end up becoming in big time basketball players, I will go watch them play basketball. But in my normal regular life, if you said, hey, listen, by the way, the WNBA finals are coming. Here's a ticket, Dusty. You want to go with me, buddy?
I guess. As long as I don't have anything else going on, like, needing to take a shower.
Listen, I would go, but sometimes I have to wash my hair. So I may not be able to make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just how it goes sometimes.
You do have a lot of hair to wash, especially underneath your chin.
Tons. But anyway, if WNBA, during the George Floyd hysteria, do you guys remember what the posture of the NBA and specifically the WNBA was? Y'all remember that?
Oh, yeah.
No.
They didn't even want the national anthem played at their games. They didn't want it played. And then when it was, because, it's a little un-American, they knelt the whole time. Everybody.
Yeah.
Not a single WNBA player stood. Now, I'll give kudos to the NBA. One of our guys from Orlando, who is a born-again believer, I forget the guy's name, but he refused to take a knee. And he's a black guy, so he can't use the racist card. He just happens to believe that Jesus Christ is king. He believes
his last name is like Isaacs.
Huh?
Is his last name Isaacs?
Yes, Jonathan Isaacs. Hit it on the nose.
I don't know how I knew that, but
listen, because you're the king, bro. You're the king. Come on.
I mean, what can I say? Look at this dome. That's for remembering things right there.
But yeah, Jonathan Isaacs says, no, I'm not going to do that because we don't know the situation, and biblical justice doesn't. And it's weird. In Deuteronomy, it tells us not to just believe the very first thing that comes out of someone's mouth, because the first person that comes to you may seem plausible, but that's where that verse, you need 2 or 3 witnesses to kind of verify what's going on, verify the story that's presented to the judges, right? Crazy how that works. So he didn't take the knee and go into this propaganda. But the WNBA, they were in there lock, stock, and 2 smoking barrels. America bad. Y'all remember that?
Yes.
Racist, evil, blah, 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 blah.
White people bad.
I think her name's Brittany Griner. She's arrested in Russia right now. Did you guys hear about that?
Yep. Yeah. Playing in the Russian leagues, which, that's fine.
Yeah, no problem with it. Play in the Russian
No problem with that.
Nope.
But
she decided to take some weed, which you can't do that in Russia. You can't smoke the weed. You feel me?
Yeah. And that may or may not be true because it's not beyond Vladimir Putin to make up something to
trust me
to attack an enemy.
Listen, I don't even. I'm with you. I actually don't believe that she was dumb enough to bring weed with her to try to hop on a plane. I think this is more of a political thing. But here's what's really rich about this whole scenario. You spent how much time kneeling at the national anthem, pissing on our flag, and saying how horrible our country is. How ironic you need our country now to get you out of Russia. Let that sink in.
Well, what's wrong with Russia?
She got arrested for vape pens.
It was but they were
marijuana.
It was marijuana vape pens.
That's what they allege. So, but again, it's allegedly.
CBD.
Allegedly. But
I mean, does she
apropos?
Does she have a problem with being a political prisoner in Russia? I mean, it's got to be better than the hell that is America.
Clearly. I mean, America is a racist hellhole. Why would she want to come back?
Now, I don't actually want this to happen to her, to be happening.
No.
That would be, it would be, it would be wrong.
Wrong.
It would be wrong. But there's another word that I'm
Unjust.
juvenile, kind of. It would be, it's not coming to me. That's okay.
Immature.
This dome is for remembering things, but not words.
Yeah, words.
And not when you need them.
Yeah.
It'd be infantile for us to
it
wish
would
harm
be,
on her because of her stupidity. Or because of Russia. Blah, blah,
It would be
blah.
beneath us. It would be pedestrian, and it would be unkingly.
Now, quick question.
And unchristian.
Would it be unkingly to talk about the fact that DeSantis completely owned a reporter this week?
No, and it would be even more kingly to show the video of it.
Yeah.
This is what 2 days of preparation gets you, folks.
Right.
Oh, come on.
Has
Nope, wrong one. Sorry.
biological
Sorry.
research.
Asking about setting parental rights in education, what critics call the Don't Say Gay bill, is on the Senate floor.
Does it say that in the bill? Does it say that in the bill? I'm asking you to tell me what's in the bill because you are pushing false narratives. It doesn't matter what critics say.
Well, it says it bans classroom instruction on sexual identity and gender orientation.
For who? For grades pre-K through 3. So 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds. And the idea that you wouldn't be honest about that and tell people what it actually says, it's why people don't trust people like you because you peddle false narratives. And so we disabuse you of those narratives. And we're going to make sure that parents are able to send their kid to kindergarten without having some of this stuff injected into their school curriculum.
Booyaka.
Oh, yeah. I love that guy. So what he's talking about is a bill that passed the House. Was it yesterday? I think it passed the House yesterday. That limits what teachers can talk about as far as sexual orientation towards kids that are in kindergarten, pre-K, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and third grade. So all the way up until they're about 9?
8 or 9.
Yeah. Excuse me. I don't want a teacher talking to my kid about that. I will do that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I will do that in a way that reflects my beliefs.
But Dusty, according to Virginia, former Virginia governor, you have no rights to your child. They're just part of the system, man. You know?
Takes a village, if you
Takes
remember.
And they're way
Hillary Clinton
smarter
taught us
teachers. Listen, man, they're way smarter teachers that make a whopping 40 grand a year that can teach your kid about sex better than you.
Oh, yeah. And it's
Wait a
not
minute.
like the statistics show that most people who go into education do it because they couldn't make it in any other field. No, that's that's wrong to even think that. All right? Let alone say it like I just did.
Yeah, because, I'd like to see them drop down the side of a building and clean a window 12 stories up.
I thought you were making a reference to Iran. I'm like, bro, that's a little out there, guy.
Oh,
No,
you're
I'm
sounding a
making
little,
reference to
little
them.
jihad, a little, Sharia law over there, bro. You feel me, dog? I mean, are you guys against?
Oh, hey, cool. You're 39.
Listen, are you guys against medical castration or like actual castration for, proven pedophiles and rapists? I mean, I think I'm kind of okay with that. Is that horrible for me to say that?
No.
And I'm almost okay with.
I know people that are for immediate execution.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, I don't know, man. I just,
that?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of okay with
revenge.
if you're
found out that the daycare that he was taking his son to, the pedophile was diddling his son for hundreds some odd times. The pedophile's mom was running the daycare out of her house, and he was doing that. He went to jail when he got caught, and then was released on bail. So the guy...
How does that happen?
Exactly. So the guy went, found him, shot him, chased him around with his car, shot him again, shot his dad, the pedophile's dad, who was also in the vehicle, or stepdad, I think it was, and was then promptly arrested and put in jail with no bail.
Is that Cain Velasquez? Is that who you're talking about?
I think so.
UFC fighter?
No. I'm not sure.
There's a similar story like that with Cain Velasquez right now.
Okay.
He literally shot a pedo. Now he's in jail. Like imagine that. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that reality, man. Yes, Cain Velasquez. There it is.
The
Thank
pedo
you, Roman Knightley, saved me on that one.
The pedo who was found was completely guilty of molesting an infant. I think he was like 3 years old, hundreds of times. And the father of this kid finding out that he's released on bail. No, that's not okay.
Not at all.
It's like the guy in Louisiana. If you guys watch True Crimes, but this guy was a karate instructor for his son. Takes him on this long trip, basically molests him. Finds out he comes into court to face charges. And on the way in, the dad was waiting. It's an iconic picture. But the dad's like at the airport, like waiting by a phone booth, waits for the guy to pass by and just turns around, blows the guy's brains out. Literally blows it right in front of the cops. He drops the gun, gets arrested, and guess what the judge does? You're free to go. And I was like, justice works.
So there was another guy that just recently went to jail. He caught the pedophile that was molesting his daughter, captured him, tied him down, and cut off a certain member that he was very attached to, fried it, and fed it to him.
Jeez. Amen.
And he's still alive.
Yeah, he can't do anything anymore.
A little excessive, though. I mean,
a little excessive. I agree.
Listen,
but
I'm with. Listen, I'm saying is this: these are the type of people I don't want anywhere close to our kids. Call me crazy. I don't want them anywhere close to there. And what's funny is these guys are the ones that desperately want to be around kids. And they desperately want to teach your kids about sex because they desperately want to groom them for disgusting filth like this. That makes sense? Like, literally.
Yeah.
This is, and I was saying this before the show. It's like, and again, I'm probably going to get pissed off. Somebody's going to get mad. Some alphabet person's going to get mad at me. I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I don't apologize. I'm just going to say it. I'm standing on my own saying this, but every person that I know that is of the alphabet people persuasion, I don't hate them. I pray to God that Jesus gets a hold of their heart and that he changes their life. And because Romans clearly talks about homosexuals and the, how does Romans say it's homosexuals and the effeminate, that literally you once were that, but then you found Jesus Christ. So Jesus can change that disgusting behavior that's antithetical to God. And I believe that wholeheartedly. And I think that anybody who turns to Jesus Christ can be changed with that. But what's interesting is every person that I know that happens to be that persuasion, it's one of three things. It's daddy issues. It's either a daddy issue, daddy's not involved, or you got molested as a kid. And let's get real. Homosexuals can't reproduce. Pedophiles typically can't reproduce either because they're what they do. But they need your kids. They need them. So they can't make them themselves. So if we can cut off access to people that really want to be around that kind of stuff and hurt and harm kids, more power to them. And the people that are really pissed off about this are clearly people in the alphabet community, which is interesting because in that clip itself, which is funny, they've labeled this the "Don't Say Gay" bill, but it doesn't say that in the bill at any point.
Which is what DeSantis was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Doesn't say it anywhere.
So
I mean, if you think it's wrong that pre-K to third graders aren't being exposed to sex and sexuality, sorry, you're a monster.
You got weird, you got problems. And the people that I've noticed that are pushing back on this are either in that community and they're just reading a headline,
they just passed
or they're, parents of kids that have claimed that they're what, and magically their kid either has daddy issues, no daddy involved, or molested as kids. So I don't think the issue is the school needs to talk about sex and masturbation to your 8, 6, 7, and 8-year-old. I think the issue is more of something's going on in your spirit that you've gone that way. You know what I mean? So I pray hard for those people. I pray that people come to know Jesus and that God's amplified. But at the end of the day, I don't need to feed the perversion of some psychopath that wants to mess with some kids. I don't know. Call me crazy, but I'm not apologizing for that statement. Go ahead.
Dusty's got a breaking news item.
Whoa.
So just now, it just hit the news that the Senate passed a $1.5 trillion government funding bill that includes $13.6 billion in Ukrainian aid, which is yay, but $13.6 billion, that's a huge amount of money. We're full on funding the Ukrainian fight right now. Well, 1.5 trillion is just to keep the government going until the next spending bill.
This is a continuance of government, not a actual budget.
Yeah,
we don't do budgets anymore. We just keep passing more money to keep the government going.
How dare we actually
more money.
Make a budget to?
Yeah, well, when you make a budget, you kind of gotta follow it, and then you're people are gonna hold you accountable to the numbers, and it's just a real mess when you're trying to make yourself rich and more powerful. Yeah. We don't have the time for that. Okay, so, and it's not. And if I want to be more powerful, I got to spend more money, and I'm not gonna spend my money.
That's true.
I'm gonna take some of that money and make it mine. Sure, but spend my money? No.
How else are you going to get your Tesla to avoid these gas prices, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Meanwhile, natural gas is part of, natural gas is used to generate electricity as well.
Yeah.
Wait.
So
it's not
and natural
clean?
gas is involved with the drilling and the
so
the
you're gonna have to
exploration that we're
frack.
not doing. Yeah, fracking and
You're
all
gonna
that
have to
stuff.
frack to do that.
Because of the shale.
But I saw a movie. I saw a movie that said fracking was bad, and Hollywood's always right. So
Yeah. Well, if Hollywood's always right, there's another movie that counteracts that with facts and data.
what?
Yeah. It was, I mean, you probably didn't hear about it, even though it was made by people
Okay.
loosely associated with Hollywood.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of it. The original one was Gasland, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, the second one was I can't remember the name of the second one, but it was made by this Irish dude and his wife. I mean, they're Americans, but they have a strong Irish accent.
Yeah, just.
And
I will find you.
they're the one. What's that?
I will find you, guy.
I will find you.
I will find you. I will hunt you.
No, not Liam Neeson.
Oh, okay.
No, not Liam.
It was it's a guy's name like Philum or something like that. Anyway, he's the one who made the stage dramatization of the reports of the eyewitnesses to the Michael Brown situation in what was that city?
It was Ferguson. And hands
Ferguson.
up, don't shoot. I mean,
Yeah,
come
hands
on.
up, don't shoot. Yes. So he did a dramatization, a stage dramatization, reading word for word the eyewitness reports that were in the court case, where of the incident, where none of that happens.
But wait a minute. TV told me that hands up, don't shoot was real, and Ferguson burned for 3 days because of that. Because TV told me.
Exactly.
Poor, sweet,
so
innocent.
this guy is actively making content to counteract the narratives that are coming out of Hollywood and television.
Sorry.
So yeah, there is a documentary that completely counteracts this. For instance, Gasland, I believe, has video of a town in the New England area where you can literally light the water on fire. I mean, you can like take a lighter and set the water coming out of the faucet on fire.
There's that much methane in it.
Yep. And that's all because of fracking, we know. Except that town had actually been doing that since the Revolutionary War times, and there's record of it. So that's kind of a problem to that narrative.
Wasn't it because of the methane being leaked out into the lake that causes that?
Yeah, something like that. But, but won't you think about the narrative? The narrative!
Boys, I don't know, man. How do I say this nicely? I don't know what to believe anymore. Just truth be told, because I'm told that
we're being played by both sides on this whole Ukrainian war.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, we're getting played by everybody with the "don't say gay" thing. We're getting played on every single front. So I don't know if it's even reasonable to have a stance on any of these positions other than your principles that should be rooted in Jesus Christ. Because, and I alluded to it earlier in the conversation, but we, after watching clips like Andy Stanley, you guys are familiar with Andy Stanley?
Mm-hmm.
He is dog trash, one of the worst theologians of all time. Sorry, he's garbage. His church is in Atlanta. Typical wokety woke church. They shut down their church for like a year and a half. They just recently started coming back because it looked, because Rona was going to kill everybody. Wear your mask, blah 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 blah. Anyway, this guy's famous for saying we need to unhitch ourselves from the Old Testament, and his cited reason is because they're so mean to gay people, because the godless people of Sodom and Gomorrah got burned up in sulfur and fire. The other thing, too, is God was mean when he came into the promised land and killed a bunch of giants, but we can't talk about that because that busts up the narrative. Sorry. Because, God's just homicidal and genocidal, even though he's killing abominations that should have never existed whatsoever, Genesis 6. But now here's the thing in Deuteronomy, we got to throw that book out too, right? Because, it actually talks about stuff. It talks about the wisdom of a judge, that a judge is not to accept the very first story that's told to him. A judge in wisdom needs 2 or 3 witnesses to properly assess any situation. Now, we've thrown that out the window because that bad. And now we're expected to jump like Pavlov's dogs anytime the narrative says so. Keep shaking your heads because I told you to. Yes. Your simultaneous head shaking is freaking me out. I'm not gonna lie.
No, we just agree with you. It's like more of that.
You're going?
Yeah, more of that. I thought you were giving me the NPC look. Like,
no. This is Jack Nicholson shaking his head like, yeah.
I love you guys. But no, I mean, for real, like, we as followers of Christ, rational people, don't just jump because Ben Shapiro says so. I'm sorry, he was wrong too. I don't jump because Bill Maher, whatever his name is starting to seem reasonable. I still remember that he hates
I applaud
God.
him for being reasonable.
But he still hates God.
Yeah.
Even though God is in control of logic. God created logic. You're stealing the thing that God created. Shocker. But, so we got to think through this stuff. I don't care what Sean Hannity says. I get it. He's got a boner for wanting to fight in Ukraine. We get it. Now, and what's hilarious, especially with the Fox guys, is it pains them to have to placate to their audience because they know that their audience is not in favor of this war at all. They're not in favor of being a part of it. So when you see it's Hannity and what's the other chick's name? Is it not Ingalls? Is it Angle? Angle, is that her name? The other opinion chick that's there between
Ingram Angle.
Ingram Angle. You can tell in her soul it hurts her to admit that her audience has no desire to go fight in Ukraine. It pains her. It's like, oh man, how am I going to get my lobby money if I can't convince these people to go? But I got to keep the ratings, so I got to go with what conservatives are about, and they don't really want to go into some foreign war again. But it pains them to admit that this isn't really popular. But if you watch the normal news at Fox, it's like Russia bad, Russia bad, Russia bad. Go to Russia now. You know what I mean? And that's on the Republican side. And let's get real. CNN is 1,000 times worse.
Yeah.
MSNBC is 1,000 times worse. And we can't get duped when they screw up and say something for real. MSNBC has been screwing up lately and actually admitting that Biden sucks. Okay? CNN has stumbled into Biden sucks. So a principled stance, and this is my final thought, is just let's not assess these situations until we have all the information and a little bit of time's passed. Because if you don't, then you're going to get a shot from a company that just delisted itself from the NASDAQ to avoid prosecution and lawsuits. And I'm looking at you, Pfizer Corporation. Oh, yeah, and real fun fact, they finally admitted to myocarditis and stillborn births from the shot. Back to you, boys.
I mean, that's about it. We do have. I did want to talk about solutions, at least to the energy crisis. We know about what Trump did. Drilling, fracking, Keystone Pipeline, deregulation. And then we're energy independent and a net exporter. But those aren't long-term solutions, because as we saw, the next president comes in and day one undoes all of it, and then we're all hurting.
Yep.
You know? And like, and that's that. And frankly, I mean, well, aside from the natural gas, but like in terms of oil, you know, that's mostly gas for our cars, right?
No, plastics too.
Well, yeah, I know that, but that's not affecting energy. That's not producing electricity.
Natural gas, oil, jet fuel.
Yeah, like
things
oil. Oil isn't producing electricity. Coal, natural gases,
nuclear.
you know, but nuclear. And you know, we do use wind and solar, but nuclear is the way. And so I just wanted to show some info on that very topic. So this is from the Nuclear Energy Institute. Come on. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it should be
So, was it? I think it's still, even with the expansion of solar panels and wind, it's still about 10% of all of the energy produced in the entire country is from solar and wind.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think it's less than that.
Okay, so let's look at the facts. So we've got nuclear power generates more than 50% of our nation's carbon-free electricity.
Yep.
They operate 24/7.
Yep.
Making them the ideal zero-carbon complement to wind and solar. 20% of the nation's electricity is generated by 93 reactors in 28 states. All 55 power plants avoid more carbon emissions annually than the emissions produced by more than 100 million passenger vehicles. America's nuclear power industry directly employs nearly 100,000 people. This number climbs to 475,000, including secondary jobs. Nuclear saves consumers an average of 6% on electricity bills and adds $60 billion to the U.S. GDP. A strong civil nuclear sector allows the U.S. to set international nuclear standards and form 100-year strategic relationships around the world. I don't know about that being a positive thing.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But everything
US
goes
nuclear,
back to the globalists.
Yeah, exactly. U.S. nuclear plants are more than 100 times safer than regulatory safety goals.
That is true.
100 times safer than the regulatory safety goals. Okay?
Yeah.
So, let's see. 51.6% of clean energy comes from nuclear.
Mm-hmm.
So 1.1% of clean energy is geothermal, 5.9% solar, 19.4% hydroelectric, 22% wind. All right? More than half of all our clean energy comes from nuclear. But we won't produce more because it's evil.
And honestly, solar would be more if the sun was out all the time. But it's not.
Yeah. Endangered species such as sea turtles find sanctuaries at nuclear plants. Well, that's an environmental good, right?
Yeah, because the water's warm.
Now, they say here environmental advocates support nuclear energy. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. There's some who do.
Yeah.
But there's a lot who still are crying against it.
The hippies that stopped smoking dope finally figured that out. They're like, oh, yeah. To be better, but the other hippies are still against it. But yeah,
but frankly, you're producing this this info packet because there's environmental advocates who do not support nuclear energy, and they should be.
Yes.
Nuclear power plants avoid more than 471 million metric tons of carbon emissions each year. If you're afraid of carbon emissions,
nuclear should be the logical choice for producing energy in the United States.
Yeah, but guys, if they solve the problem, why would we need them?
Exactly.
Everything.
Nuclear carbon-free energy is a low-cost producer. Okay. Always on electricity. One uranium fuel pellet, the size of a pencil eraser, provides as much energy as 1 ton of coal, 149 gallons of oil, and 17,000 cubic feet of natural gas. Then it goes into how it's made,
how safe it is.
That's a uranium. That's uranium right there.
Yeah, that's actually 2 pellets.
So, and just like everything, what's funny is all these reactors, nuclear, coal, natural gas, all of that is really steam power.
Yeah. Yeah, we still have not gotten away from steam power.
Yeah. The world runs on the steam engine.
Still today.
We just do it much fancier.
Yep.
It's fascinating. It really is.
It ain't broke.
Yeah, exactly. But we can make it even better with nuclear power. Nuclear plants produce very little waste. Used fuel is stored safely at plant sites in cooling pools or fortified dry casks. Multiple barriers assure protection. Geologic disposal is a globally proven permanent solution.
Okay. So I want to talk about something real quick. And Ray, I do apologize if I interrupted. I still can't hear you.
What?
We've had.
Can you hear me now?
What scares people about nuclear energy?
Chernobyl,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
TV's
there were
been
so many risks taken by the Russians in designing this system, and there were so many problems with it that they just overlooked. Whereas the United States, 3 Mile Island, it was the closest thing to an accident we've ever had, and it was prevented before it became a serious problem.
Mm-hmm.
The next one was
Fukushima,
and that didn't leak a single bit of radiation.
Yep.
Had a complete total failure because of the earthquake and because of the tsunami, and never once has it leaked radiation to this day. So it's safe. It's safe.
But
Why don't we
the
use
TV
this?
said it was bad.
This should be. There should be nuclear power plants outside of every single city in the United States, powering those cities.
Yep.
But there's not, because people are terrified of nuclear power plants.
And listen to these stats. The United States will need 34% more electricity by 2050, according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration. And do we know if that includes because we go full electric with all our cars?
Right.
I don't know.
I don't think so. Probably
not. Next generation reactors will protect the climate, boost the economy with quality jobs, and ensure global leadership, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The United States nuclear reactor fleet generates more than 30% of global nuclear electricity. But all of that can be more.
Yes.
22 new reactors began operating since the beginning of 2018. That's a good thing.
Who started that process?
Trump. Yeah.
Well, part of the reason I wanted to get back to the energy independence was when Trump took office, it took almost a year and a half before we finally started to become energy independent.
Yeah, it takes time.
It takes time. So even if if all of a sudden Biden goes, dang, let's open up oil, it would still be a year to a year and a half before we actually see any benefits of that.
I mean, that's probably true. My only counter would be that we had an environment of deregulation long enough that they may have made enough progress, and in that it wouldn't be quite as long.
It could be.
Yeah, some of the infrastructure might already be there and just turned off because they can't use it anymore. So that, I mean, I know that they did a lot of work on the Keystone Pipeline.
Yes.
But who knows, You may be absolutely right. Either way, it's not happening tomorrow.
No.
If he turns it on.
But you guys are
China has 14 domestic reactors under construction. America has 2 under construction. Russia
one in
has
Miami
3.
got denied too, by the way.
What's that?
The one there's one in Miami that is supposed to, it needs a federal extension past 2032, and it got denied. So they're just going to let it run until 2032, and then
Is that
let
Turkey
it
Lake, right?
stop. Huh?
It's Turkey Lake, right?
Yep. No, in Miami.
Curious
Miami.
I thought that
political
was the one
moment
in Miami.
Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis confronted children and admonished them
what is going on?
for wearing masks. These are high school students.
Hello?
You do not have to wear those
Give me a
masks.
second.
I mean, please take them off.
Honestly,
I can't
it's
hear
not
you guys. I'm
doing
sorry.
anything.
Sorry.
It's probably me.
No, it was me. I
Oh.
closed one thing. I closed that tab, and so then the next tab took over, and of course it turns on the last video and just starts it running.
Sorry. Sorry, dude. But yeah, no, I mean, it's what's scary to me is federal has so much control over nuclear. That's the problem. You know what I mean? I wish states had more power over that, but that's just me. That's just me, crazy small government guy.
No, decentralize. Decentralize. No energy department. Get rid of it. Get it gone so that we can actually, like, secure our futures. Yeah. Forget these people.
Sorry, I got a little bit more breaking news for the show. Jesse Smollett got sentenced to 150 days in jail and then we'll have probation afterwards. So fun fact.
Okay,
Just
cool.
Juicy Smollett is actually going
Juicy
to go to
Smollett.
jail. It's crazy.
150 days. That's almost half a year.
Yeah, I'll take it.
That's 5 months. Yeah.
You know, maybe it'll discourage.
Notice they say. Did you notice that they said 150 days and not 5 months? So that 150 days is a lot large. 150 is a lot larger number than 5.
Yeah.
And so it sounds more
way worse.
Way worse, because he's wrong. He was wronged, or they either want the person who thinks he should get the book thrown at him to think that it was, or they want the person who thinks he was wronged to think that this is outrageous and so long.
Jeez. Racist. Don't forget the racist part.
Oh yeah. It's just our racist justice system at work.
True that. What else we got, boys? We sending it home, or what are we doing?
Yeah, we're sending it home. You got a final thought?
I do. It comes from Tim Young. I'm stealing his tweet right now. The only people who think that Biden is doing a great job are the ones who are still wearing masks alone in their cars.
It's true. It's true.
And they're real. I've seen them. Even here in Florida, I've seen them. I just, sorry.
Yeah. I think that's a kind of that sums it all up for all of us, right?
I don't know. I haven't heard it yet.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, on that note, you've been watching Plausible Foolishness, the home of the Rube Empire, where the people are free, the taxes are voluntary, and we serve freshly roasted liberal logic every Thursday now at 9:30 p.m. on twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness, YouTube, Facebook Live, Rumble, anywhere you can get a podcast, Instagram and minds.com. Peace out. God bless. See you on Tuesday on Twitch for the prep sessions. Tuesday and Wednesday on prep sessions for the Thursday show now. That's the new format in case you missed it. See ya.
Make sure you come. Give us your ideas. We want to hear from you.
Yep, definitely. And maybe Ray might show up if he isn't being a little...
Yeah.
Listen, it's because I'm black. Okay? It's because I'm black. I knew it.
Say, look, Hey, free Masana for your honor. Left on box in them chains. What was my dog, man? Why that bullet had got lodged in his brain? My mind is insane. A memory card is locked in the game. These optical frames spot ops and leave a block full of pain. Did the impossible, cross the tightrope while dodging the rain. I put extensions in my Glock, no I am not finna aim. Swear I got robbed and joined the army so my spot could remain. One lost his life in North Carolina, hope he not as I sang. Drinking sorrow away on my alky still for the soldiers we lost on the battlefield. Why am I hurting myself as I bury on belching out death when I'd rather heal? And most of these rappers ain't that for real. They mentioning that shit, they cat for me. Talking fly when we push that in vacuum seal. Some of my homies not pushing up that deal. 900 put music to dream hours. We been up grinding up teen hours. They ain't believing that team power, then we had a run of 14,000. I thank you all for supporting us. This right here for the voice of the warrior. Victory is a beautiful woman. We went through the rain while